1. Thank you.
Yes, please.
So, you took over the charge of CRPF at a time when CRPF probably was at its lowest ebb. There were two incidents back to back in Sukma. So, in this context, I would want to know, sir, what exactly is the status, or what exactly is the level of anti-Naxal operations in general and specific in Sukma and Bastar?
Uh, you see, after those two incidents that had taken place, those two unfortunate incidents, we had done a detailed analysis of some of the causes behind them. And we have also found certain factors which needed to be dealt with. So firstly, we found that, and we have been able to do it, is to have much better coordination with the state police forces, to work in very close conjunction with them. So today, their DRG and their STF teams are, some of them are located in our camps itself, and most of the operations that we are conducting today are joint operations based on the intelligence generated by the central agencies, by us, and also by the state governments. Also, an effort was made to see that the security of our troops, in terms of their preparedness, in terms of their briefings, in terms of the actual follow-up when they go out on operations, was also taken up, and new SOPs have now also been made regarding their movement during different operations and duties. So all round an effort has been made to make the Jawan more secure in terms of the equipment that he carries, in terms of the briefing that he gets, in terms of the daily drills and practices that he does, in terms of the officer support that he gets, and also in terms of the overall supervision even when he's out. It is the duty of the officers to monitor each movement very closely and to be able to bring our troops back. In that sense, even contingency drills are planned out, that if given the terrain, something happens, how are we going to react to it? So an effort is made, and I would also like to point out to you that these are live theaters, and it is a constant battle that the CRPF has on its hands.
So you said these steps will make the Jawans more secure, more defenses to his aid so that operations are done better. But what more so that the offense power of the CRPF also increases in terms of getting support by the UAVs, probably also better checking the IEDs, because IEDs have been an issue of worry for us. Better intelligence on the ground. These all issues which regularly come up whenever there is a setback, and these questions are raised time and again that we do not have an intelligence, we do not have UAV support. So,
See, what I've just pointed out to you, that this is an ongoing exercise. It is an ongoing work. And in terms of the technology that is available, we are looking at different technologies that we can use, both in terms of surveillance, like you said, the UAVs, better UAVs. We are also looking at ground surveillance stations where we could have surveillance even in terms of ground stations. We are looking also at the mobility issues as to how we could have more protected and more fast movement. We are also looking at some advanced camps so that we are in a position to reach their core areas within a night smarts. So various aspects are being looked into, and like I said, that this is an ongoing process.
so more manpower, more foods on the ground, especially in Buster areas, around 2 battalions more that you're probably looking to deploy.
Yes, we are looking to deploy more battalions in that region, and one battalion is already there, and we are planning to induct more troops.
Sir, Kamaljeet Sandhu here from India Today.
Yes.
Since I also write for Mail Today, I'll ask my questions. Sir, Rajnath Singh at one point of time after the Burqa Pal incident had talked about biometric guns, about using GPS devices in bulletproof jackets. What's the progress regarding that? And also, if I can ask a supplementary question, which I'll ask later.
Regarding this, the technological options are being studied and we are actively looking at them.
Sir, also there have been huge setbacks in South Kashmir, but in the last month or so, there seems to be a reversal, and now the security forces seem to have much more control. What do you think have, and where do you think has this turnaround been?
You see, as you have seen in the recent past, there is very close coordination between the JK police, the CRPF, and the army. We are working in close collaboration and cooperation. Good intelligence is coming from the JNK police and from the other agencies, and prompt and coordinated action is being taken. As far as the law and order front is concerned, the CRPF is able to contain the violent crowds. The stone pelting incidents have also decreased. We have also been able to reposition our troops, have a new strategy, have a new SOP, and with the use of less lethal weapons, we are able to minimize both the injuries to our troops and also to the mob, and at the same time effectively contain and disperse it. So all these joint efforts are bringing the results on the ground.
So in your introductory remarks, you said there is this is Neelab here.
Yeah.
Introductory remarks, you also said the problem of the reserves getting continuously deployed. For over the years, we have found that the reserve component in the Central Reserve Police Force is missing. Uh, what steps are you taking so that your training does not suffer, the training company does not CI ops or an election?
See, as you are aware, because of contingencies, it happens that most of our training companies do get deployed. So what we are also trying to devise are local training methodologies. Of course, the effort is again to see that our troops are made free for trainings, and especially in the SOZ area, and for the JNK theatre, the pre-induction trainings are being taken very seriously. And with the pre-induction trainings also, we are also having trainings while the troops are actually deployed, while they are in camp. So we are also devising drills which can be done within the camp itself. And now with a mix of forces, with our Cobra also being present, with the DRG and the STF, another strategy is joint training so that these operational groups, when they train together, they will get the synergy and understanding, and also they would be able to, build on each other's strengths, and in that sense become operationally more proactive and better at it.
Sir, recently we have seen an attack on Amarnath Yatra. I'm Shailesh Kumar from National Defense. Back at the back, sir.
Yeah.
Uh, so, can you please tell us what really caused that attack on Amarnath Yatra? Was there an intelligence failure, or was there some SOP deviation? What really caused that, and the lessons learned out of that?
See, as you are aware, given the security scenario there and the intelligence inputs, a system was devised by which the yatra was to be conducted in terms of the convoys, in terms of the ROP duties, in terms of the timings and so on. And this particular incident was because the party was traveling outside the parameters of the main security arrangements that had been made for the yatra. Of course, then again the question comes as to whether the vehicle should have been stopped, could have been stopped and taken to a more secure place, and even though they had started on time, yet they got delayed because of different reasons. So what we have done after that, in collaboration with the JK police, we have now set up more checkpoints so that people who come in from different entry points, you see some people are coming from the camps, but there are so many people who go sightseeing, or they may be staying in different places, may be joining the route at different places. So now the effort is being made so that all vehicles which are traveling during the time on which there is no ROP, they are being stopped and they are being taken to safe locations, either the Yatri camps or police stations or CRPF locations. And the night-time bandobast has also been increased.
So, besides that, in case if you can tell us about the incidents of stone pelting in Kashmir, Had they been reduced? And what about so the same person?
Uh, Stone pelting, as you are aware, this year we have had about 424 incidents, which are much less than the number of incidents last year. Uh, in terms of stone pelting, as I have explained to you, that we have got our drills together, we have got our new SOPs, we have got good protective gear. We are also now using a lot less lethal ammunition in controlling these violent crowds. And our training facilities at Lethpura and in Srinagar, we are able to train our troops and even the new troops who are being inducted to be able to react as a proper group in close coordination with the J&K police and to be able to contain the stone pelting with minimum collateral damage and also in an effective manner.
Hi sir, this is Neeraj. You said the area controlled by Maoist has shrunk. Can you elaborate on that? Which particular areas or districts we are talking about? Because Bastar we don't see.
Yes, you are, in that sense, you are right that South Bastar remains one of their last bastions. And in that area now, we have to plan as to how we can reduce their influence in area of control. While you would see in all the other states, Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa, and West Bengal, there has been a sizable impact on the areas that they control. Yes, please. Uh, you see, in terms of recruit training, we have had a recruitment of 20,000 recruits. And therefore, our regular training centers do not have the capacity to deal with them. So we have set up ad hoc training centers, and but we are making sure that the standard of training remains the same by putting in much more of an officer content, also by prescribing that field officers will regularly visit, an audit will be conducted of the training that is being done to make sure that the standards are maintained. This is a necessity that we have to face, and since the training capacity does not match the training requirements, so like you said, sometimes GCs are used and sometimes ad hoc training institutions are created.
One more question, sir.
Please.
Does CRPF also take pre-induction courses with Indian Army at Kriv and Sarol? Is that still going on?
Yeah, we are doing pre-induction training at various centers and at the Army institutes also, at certain other state institutes also. We are also doing it with the Greyhounds. So the pre-induction training, and also we are sending our trainers to be trained by these people, because you see again the pre-induction load is so much that the regular institutes are not being able to handle that. So we have set up our own pre-induction training places within the sectors so that we are able to train the person before he is actually inducted.
But in Kashmir, there were few attacks in the last some time on the convoy movement whenever the CRPF. In fact, there was one very recently. So we were wanting to bulletproof the vehicles up to an extent, in certain cases, up to an extent, some certain cases, fresh bulletproof vehicles, so that the convoys are safe every time they move around in the Kashmir Valley. What has been the progress in that, sir?
Uh, See, as you are aware, bulletproof acquisitions are going on. We are trying to acquire more bulletproof vehicles, both in the light, medium, and also of the heavy category. However, since the rate of procurement and the procurement through regular suppliers is a tedious process, what we have done is that we have improvised and we have asked our units to use local material and local vendors, and even on our own, in our own workshops, to partially bulletproof our vehicles. Even in the incident that had taken place in Pantha Chowk, we unfortunately lost one sub-inspector. However, the improvisation saved our 8 jawans who were traveling in the back of the vehicle, because in that we had put a metallic sheet and then a concrete, some layer of concrete, and then some wood plank. So a combination of these three, while about 23 bullets hit that vehicle, yet because of this improvised bulletproofing that we had done, all 8 jawans who were traveling in that vehicle were saved. So we are stepping up our efforts to ensure that even our buses which go on the convoy are at least partially they are bulletproof, and we are also in the process of regular bulletproofing of our buses. So on both fronts we are making efforts.
But this improvisation is safe enough? Would that?
You see, the improvisation, as I have said, is a short-term measure. It is something that we have to take records to, and it does save lives, as I have just illustrated to you.
So,
It is, the sophistication in that is slightly difficult, but at least it does the basics.
but you have to do all this because as you said, there is a tedious process of getting bulletproof tenders coming in and all that. But cannot the government give you one time, is that a proposal that you can seek from the government, that we can get one time funds?
The government is also very active looking at fast-track procedures, and that is under very active consideration of the government, as well as looking at other methodologies of providing these assets through the SRE funds through the states also. So the government is also actively looking as how the procedures could be reduced.
Sir, good afternoon. I'm Shreya Dhondeyal. I work for CNN News 18. I'm breaking the rule here. Sir, quickly going back to the question of stone pelting, will it be correct to say that stone pelting in the valley has come down by 80%? That figure could be wrong. I just want to cross-check that with you. And sir, secondly, why do you think stone pelting incidents have gone down? Is it because of demonetization, as the government wants us to believe? Is it because there's a cash crunch as far as the Hurriyat is concerned? Or is it something else, sir?
You see, in terms of the number of incidents, they have substantially gone down. They are less than half of what were there last year. And in terms of why they have gone down, these, are complex phenomena. And it is a mix of everything. It is a mix of what the NIA is doing. It is a mix of what the state police and the security agencies are doing, the kind of control that is there. So the efforts of the lawbreakers and the efforts of the stone pelters and the violent mobs are being effectively blocked. And that is one of the main reasons why the stone pelting has come down.
Has the intervention of the locals during operations, has that also come down? Because there were some strict directions. I mean, there were one statement by the army chief, and then also the CRPF said that someone who interferes in the operations will not be allowed to do so. The locals, when you probably cordon an area when you're doing an operation in Kashmir.
As you would have seen, in most of the operations we have been successful, and the terrorists have not managed to escape but have been eliminated. And even if the mob had gathered and there was stone pelting, it was effectively dealt with.
But what exactly the situation now in Kashmir Valley, sir? Is it still under control? Is it still dynamic? What would you say in your assessment, the situation in the valley as of now?
Our assessment is that the situation is improving. नहीं 400 and कुछ incidents